Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Kit, and today in this tutorial I am going to show you how to crochet this very lovely and colorful corner to corner blanket. Now my blanket measures approximately 56 inches from top to bottom and 41 inches from left to right. Now this blanket is pretty big, so I can't show you the entire thing on camera, but you can make your blanket as large as you want or as small as you want. So the choice is up to you. So let's go over the materials and let's get started. Now for this tutorial, I am using Bernat Baby Sport by Yarnspiration. This has 1,256 yards. It is 100% acrylic and it is a lightweight 3 yarn, and it recommends a 4mm crochet hook. Now if you don't happen to have this yarn or you can't find this yarn, you can also substitute it for Lion Brand Pound of Love. The Pound of Love is a 4-weight, but it's on the lighter side of a 4-weight, so you can go ahead and substitute that yarn if you prefer. The other yarn that you need for this project is 2 mandala cakes. Now this is a Mandala Baby, and the color on this one is called Unicorn Cloud. Now you can use 2 cakes of this color, or you can use 1 cake of the Unicorn Cloud and 1 cake in a different color. Or you don't even have to use the Unicorn Cloud, you can use 2 cakes of a different color. So the choice is up to you, as long as it is a mandala. It doesn't have to be the Mandala Baby, as long as it's a mandala or a self-striping yarn. That's a lightweight 3. So the other materials that you will need is your crochet hook. Now the crochet hook I used is a 6.5mm crochet hook. You will also need your darning needle for weaving in ends. You will need 1 stitch marker. If you don't have a stitch marker, you can use a piece of scrap yarn. That's what I do most of the time because I can never find my stitch markers. And then you need a pair of scissors. So let's go ahead and get started, and I will show you how to make this lovely blanket. Now when you gather your yarn, you need 1 strand from your mandala cake and a 1 strand from your skein of white yarn. So go ahead and put 2 strands together. Here I'm using scrap yarn. So I'm using 1 in like a peachy color and then 1 in white. So I'm putting 2 strands together. So I've already made my slip knot. So go ahead and make your slip knot. And then insert your hook and then just tighten up your knot. So you want to start off by chaining 6. So let me move you guys a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. So you want to start off by chaining 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So once you have your chain 6, you want to make sure that you grabbed both strands of yarn, because there are times when I want to crochet really fast and then I only grab 1 strand. Now there's a big loop in my blanket and then you'd have to frog it and redo it. So when you're making this blanket, try to go a little bit slower. I'm a fast crocheter, so I like to speed through a project. But here, I'm going to go real slow because I don't want to miss a strand of yarn. So you're going to chain your 6, and then once you chain your 6, you're going to double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here, you are going to make a double crochet. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then pull through 2 loops. So now you have your chain 3 and 1 double crochet, and then now you want to make 2 more double crochets, 1 in this stitch and 1 in this stitch. So go ahead and double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, and then now you have one more stitch left. So go ahead and double crochet into the last stitch. Okay, and this is what it should look like so far. So it's a little block with a chain 3 and 3 double crochets. So after you complete your 3 double crochets, go ahead and chain 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So once you chain 6, you're going to repeat the same process. So you're going to double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So yarn over and double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. And you should have again your chain 3 and a double crochet, and now you want to double crochet in the last 2 stitches. So 1 here and 1 here. So go ahead and double crochet in the next stitch, and then double crochet into the next stitch. So once you do that, your work should look something like this. Okay, it's not much now, but it will be. So you should have 2 blocks. So now once you complete your second block, what you want to do next is, you see this first block that you made? It's pointing downwards. You want to flip it so it's facing upwards. Okay, so now you insert your hook. Make sure your block is still facing up, and then you want to slip stitch in the chain 3. So there's the chain 3 right here. Insert your hook into the chain space and slip stitch, and then you want to do a chain 3. After you chain 3, you want to add 3 double crochets into this chain 3 space. So yarn over, insert your hook, double crochet. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now you have 2 rows completed. So the first row will have 1 block, the second row will have 2 blocks. So now at the end of each row, you always want to make sure you chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then now you're just going to repeat. So you want to do a double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this chain right here, you want to do 1 double crochet, and go slow so you don't miss a strand of yarn. You want to make sure you get both strands of yarn every time you make a stitch. So that's 2, and here's the 3rd double crochet. Okay, so now your work should look something like this. And after you finish that first block at the beginning of the row, you always want to make sure you flip your work up. And then now you want to slip stitch right here into this chain 3 space. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So I will do a slip stitch right here into the chain 3 space, and then you want to chain 3, and then into that chain 3 space you want to make 3 double crochets. So 1, oops, lost my yarn, 2, and then 1 more is 3. Okay, so now we're gonna jump to this next chain 3 space and make a slip stitch, and then you're gonna chain 3, 2, 3, and then make 3 more double crochets into this chain 3 space. 1, 2, and 3. Now this is the end of the row, so I'm going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so I have my row 1 has 1 block, row 2 has 2 blocks, and row 3 has the 1, 2, and 3 blocks. Now we're on row 4. So you're going to chain your 6, and then we're going to do the repeat again. So we're going to double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. So there is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So double crochet in the 4th chain, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 chains. So just be very careful that you grab both strands of yarn and not just one. So, and now you want to flip up your work. So that way you can slip stitch into the chain 3 space, which is in the next block. So there's a chain 3 space. You want to slip stitch, chain 3, and do 3 double crochets into that chain 3 space from the previous row. So there is my chain 3 and 1, 2, 3 double crochets. And then you're going to jump to the next chain 3 space on the next block and slip stitch. And then chain 3 and do 3 double crochets into that chain 3 space. Now with this mandala yarn, I did not do color control. So when the color changed, I just let them change naturally. If you want to color control it, that's fine too, but I find that it's a little bit easier if you don't. And the blanket still looks gorgeous, so the choice is up to you for that one. So jump to the next block, slip stitch into the chain 3 space, chain 3, and 3 double crochets into that chain 3 space. Now I'll work one more row with you. Let me redo that one. And then I will let you keep crocheting until you get this blanket as long as you would like, or as wide as you would like. And then what we're doing is increasing. So we're increasing the bottom portion and then up one side. So if you keep increasing, it's just going to get longer and wider. And then I will do a second video and I will show you how to decrease your corner to corner blanket. So for this first part, it's just increasing. So I'll do one more row of increases and I'll let you work up your blanket and increase it as long or as wide as you'd like. And then come join me for part 2, where I show you now how to decrease your blanket. So let's go ahead and do one more row together. So we finished this row. Now this is row 4 because there are 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then now you want to make sure you chain your 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you want to double crochet. After you chain 6, you always want to make sure you double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 double crochet. And like I said, make sure that you grab both strands of yarn. So there's 1, and then you want to make another double crochet in the next stitch, and then another double crochet into the next stitch. Okay. So always make sure you flip up your work so the points are facing up. And then you want to move on to your next block here and do a slip stitch into the chain 3. And then after you slip stitch, you want to chain 3 and work 3 double crochets into the chain 3. Okay, and then now move on to the next block and work a slip stitch into the chain 3, and then chain 3 and work 3 double crochets into this chain 3 space. Okay, moving on to the next block. There's your chain 3 right here. Insert your hook, make a slip stitch, chain 3, and then work 3 double crochets into that chain 3 space. I'm gonna have to grab some more yarn. Okay, so I have chain 3, 2 double crochets, so I need 1 more. And then you're gonna skip to your very last block in the row, find the chain 3, insert your hook, and make a slip stitch. And then you're gonna chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then work 3 double crochets into that chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And then before, oops, see, I missed 1 strand of yarn, so now I have to redo that one. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so this is what your work should look like. So row 1, row 2 has 2. This is row 3, 1, 2, 3. Row 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and row 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So whatever row you're on, that is how many blocks that you should have in that row. So this is how you increase. So this one is going upwards, this one is going to the right. So you keep crocheting in that manner. So now after this row, you're going to chain 6, and you are going to double crochet into the 4th chain from hook, then double crochet in the next chain and in the next chain, and then flip your work up, and then you're going to slip stitch into this chain 3 space right here, and then add 3 double crochets into this chain 3 space, and then slip stitch, chain 3, and you're going to repeat that over and over again until your blanket is as long and as wide as you would like it to be. So this is the end of the first part of this video. The second part I will upload later on today, so that way I can show you guys how to decrease this corner to corner blanket and make it a square or a rectangle. So I hope you guys enjoyed my tutorial, and I hope your blanket turns out just as lovely as mine. And I will see you in part 2, where I show you how to decrease your blanket to make it a square or a rectangle. So thank you for joining me today, and I will see you guys soon. So hope this tutorial was helpful, and that hope you will make this blanket for yourself or for a loved one. So have a great day, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.